Hey there, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. In today's video, I'm going to show you a flip through of this beautiful vintage Paris journal I just completed. It was a digital kit from Wonders by Wink on Etsy, and it's called Vintage Paris. And it has some really gorgeous uh, kind of old world look to it in the digital kit. For the cover, I decided to go with laces. And I had a piece of paper underneath that has Paris on it and some shoes and shopping, and we know Paris is known for fashion. So then I had a little stamp that had Paris and a few other cities, and then I did a little bit of a collage here with bling. My mom gave me these old doilies and things, so I put a doily on the bind or the spine of it, and just to add some old world style to it. It has a netting, a bridal veil type tulle in a gold glitter. It's not glitter, it's sparkle, I think they used to call it. And it also has a little ribbon, gold ribbon, that goes through the edge lace, and it has a piece of ripped material underneath of the doily. And I was trying to go for, I guess, kind of vintage and rustic and weathered is the word, maybe, I'm not sure. So let's go to it. So inside I have a big pocket here with a pretty little design. I have a stamp that has a corset, so I had stamped on there with that and heat embossed it, and I've got a button, and I made 2 buttons here out of just some glitter cardstock, and there's more of that pretty little material that's on the outside spine. The lady inside is just a large tag which can be written on. This was some Tim Holtz things. I did a blue polka dot background. It has a stenciling of a pink polka dot, and then I heat embossed I don't know if you can quite see it. It's a little diamond design, and I did it in gold glitter. And then I've got a little bling on her. It says, "You're a gem." The actual signatures, which there's 2 of them, are put in with a hidden spine, and you can kind of see the hidden spine here sticking out a little bit. Well, it's not sticking out, it's in there. It's just, and I put some tea bag behind it because I wanted it to look like, it was kind of, the pages were ripping out, and it's kind of got a worn look to it. Here I have the beautiful Eiffel Tower digital image from the kit, and I put this here in case you want to write your name or anything like that, because this journal is for sale. Here's another of the images. It has a lot of postcardy looking things to it. Here I've got one of those envelopes that flips out and has a card inside of it with a pretty lady on it, and it can be written on the back. Has a little doily to carry the theme of what's on the envelope and the page itself. I have an extra little decorative paper, I guess you'd call it, which can also be written on. It's pretty with some gold sheen to it, and it's in a tuck, and that sticks out and gives you a little more interest. These are heat embossed and dyed die cuts of some flowers. Over here, if you didn't catch it, I've glued down the flap of the envelope. I do like a T design in the glue, and I'm able to do some tucking here and here, very tiny items. This was a little envelope from the kit, little image of some kind of old architecture that's there in Paris. And then I did some lace, of course. Of course, I did more lace in this book than I ever had before. So here was another image from the kit. And then we've got, I also did ripping and cutting with decorative scissors of all the edges. So it's got a sort of a, you know, an old look. I guess I don't know what the word would be for that. Here I took some of the, she had large squares, small squares, and circles. So I try to incorporate those in some sort of pocket. Here was one of the digital tags, and I just cut this out of a Tim Holtz paper. I think butterflies is one of the things that Paris or, you know, France is known for. I try to go with quite a few things that it's known for. Here was another tag and a little postcard from the kit. Another digital. Some papers here I've sewn together from another kit. I know the color kind of throws it off, but I thought it needed a little color in the book itself. So this has furniture. Looks like the old Louis XVI kind of furniture to me. This is a tea bag dyed page that I did last summer. And you just lay the tea bags down on your page and you put another page on top of it. And I have these squares that I wrapped around the page and then sewed it. And it's got some of the pinks and such. Here was a collage that I made. It was a heart, and it's got a few strips of paper and such behind it. This is a, I don't know, it's not a shaker, it's just an envelope window. And you could write on the back of it. It's got a dangle that's got a key and some numbers, because I did numbers on the edge here. And it just tucks right under there and hangs out so the dangles will show. This is vellum, and it's got like French words, so it got put in here. Here was shoes and roses. Here was one of my other videos. It was a tag concertina, and what you do is you take it off of your Velcro tabs here. You can write, can you see that? You can write here, and then this will pull out where you're able to write inside here anywhere you would choose. You can pull it this way and write, and I haven't put anything in there yet. I need to do that, but this is an actual tuck, a large tuck. So I need to remember that. I'm going to leave that in there. So I know to put me a nice tag in there. Then here was more of the pretty architecture that's there. A lot of music. Some kind of, I'm not sure if that's a list of what's on sale at the restaurant or the grocery store or what. Here is my zipper pocket that I did a video on, and it's where you can put a tag anywhere in here. And the larger the tag, the further up you want it, because it will go all the way down. I think I just didn't have any large tags to put in here, and I didn't want to cover the butterfly. Here's a belly band I made with some of those small squares, and I just cut the edges off. And here was where I used up some more. And it could be written on the back. And I had a little bit of wording behind. You can't read it, but it kind of adds to the look. This is a 8x8 from one of the Tim Holtz pads. Of course, it had the Eiffel Tower had to go in here. So I wanted to make it extend out a little further on this side. So I put two of her big squares together and made a pocket. So it's a little tight for that tag. I might have to cut that tag down, but that's okay. This also is two of the little squares and a circle. I may have cut that out of a square, though. And one of her postcards I've got in that small tuck there. On the back side, she had some longer pieces in the kit. So I have placed one here, and it is a pocket for these tags and postcards. And that was the back side of the opposite page. So it kind of all worked together. More digital images. Pretty lady. Here I've got a side tuck, which is, it's on a piece of cardstock, but it's a eyelet ribbon that I had. Here was like a leftover piece, and it's just digital. I mean, I'm sorry. It was a digital of a carousel kit that I've got. But it's just to be journaled in. It's pretty hoarse. And let's see. There we go. And then over here I've got, the tuck is on this other side, and you can see the Eiffel Tower through the pretty shiny kind of lace. And I thought that turned out really pretty. And then I've got a postcard, and this is just, you know, the 8x8 Tim Holtz paper. And I used it quite a bit in here. Here is one of my paper clips. It's not a hidden paper clip because it's out there dead center, but here is some bling that I got on it, and another little key, and just some scraps that I had kind of laying on the desk needing to be used up. You know how that is. They're always lying there. Now I could put something here, or they can put something there. I instead put a cluster. Well, it's not a cluster. It's a stamp and a cut of a shape, and I made that into a pocket. That's just embossed, and I put like a piece of tea-dye paper on the back of it so you could still write on it. The other end of the vellum, and this is just an image. This was some type of snippet roll that I made, and you're supposed to rip it or cut it, but it had Paris here, so that's why I chose this one. This is my tea bag page. I just love that look. Here we've got a pocket, and I had a couple of examples that I made for the zipper pocket video, so I made them into a pocket. And this is just a small 6x6, and I've just folded that so you could write in it. There was a postcard to write in, and some pretty flowers all tucked in there. And more of the furniture background. And this side had the Paris with a little bird and clock. Here we've got a large tag in here, and it looks like the Eiffel Tower and some kind of a fair or something going on underneath of it. Here was some more of the different shapes that she gave me, and I kind of made a collage out of them on a piece of brown cardstock, and then I cut around it to make a pocket. Here I just made one large pocket. I've got rub-ons. There was words here on this image, so I had this rub-on with a more and some more words, and it looks like an extension. I thought that turned out kind of neat. And I have little pieces. Well, this is from the kit, but these two little pieces were from some snippets from Tim Holtz. I do him a lot. And then more pages of the kit. Here is where the other side of that doily page, I did texture paste, and I added some bronze distress paint to it, and it made it more yellow than the vintage look that I wanted. So I was kind of, yeah, let me cover it up a little bit. So I put this little tuck in here. This is another one of those little papers I've had for eons, and it could be written in. And then this was from the same paper pad that had that little embossed flower on it. And I put a little doily. And then this here is just a little fan that I had a little scrap of lace. And you could put a little trinket or a little coin or a little something in there. It would stay. And more lace on the edge. And this is really distressed looking page that I had dyed last summer. A bird cage. This was pretty. The Paris. This is the end of the first signature, and I'm starting the second. This was some of the paper that I'd sewn together because they were white on the back side, so I had like 6 pages, and I put them back to back, and then I did a decorative cut. Here I did a little stenciling. Here was another one of my paper clips. It's got Unforgettable Explorer Journey and with a compass. And I thought that went well with the map over here. Here is my puzzle pocket, which I've got a video on it. And I just chose this to go in it, which the puzzle pocket is supposed to be where you can go in from the top, in from the bottom, oops, in from the bottom, and in from the side. So you're able to, and I've said that this could be used as a large belly band holder if you chose. Now here was the other side of an 8x8, and I needed to do something to this to extend it out a little bit. So I put in a little bit more of that texture paste flour, and I sprayed this one, so that's why it's a little darker. It turned out a whole lot better. This is just an index card that I did a stamp on the back of it. And then this is another, what is that? Oh, it was just a piece of paper, and I put a stencil design on it and some lights, and I said shine brightly. They were a Tim Holt stamp, of course. Here was the French polka page. Here is another one of her cutouts, and I made it into a pocket. This here was out of something else you'll see a little later. And then I cut the French polka out of one of her large squares and just put that circle on there. And it goes with the French polka over here. Polka. I'm saying that wrong, sorry. Okay, here was a spread that I did, and it's like a big newspaper. And then you've got Paris, and you've got the trunk and the luggage stack, and the little busboy guy, whatever he is. And the suitcases are a pocket. And actually, it extends behind the little boy as well. So I had to glue just his edge down, and then the edge like that. Here is a sewn pocket. This was like a large, sort of a card. It was a card making kit where you had an envelope and these cardstock cards with a scallop edge to them. So I just kind of stamped lightly on the back side of it and put this image on it. Then I framed it with this blue, whatever that is, crackle kind of paint design. It's got a couple of her images with it. It's just got a simple index card inside of it with a pull on it. And I left the little threads in a lot of places just because, you know, if you don't like them, you can always trim them off. Here is some of the fashion. Fashion's changed, but style endures. And these were ladies that I had in an old frame set my mother gave me. I have a rub on here that says fashion, and there's more of the corsets that were from the inside pocket. And it says confidence is the new black, because it has so much dark to it. All right, another image, and I've got some journaling area in here. I wondered if I gave you enough, but I think there's enough in here. Here is a huge lace pocket, and it's a spread as well. It goes to the next side over here. And this is just a big journal card. I'm not sure if you can exactly write on it. I think you can with a dark pen. You would be able to see that. It has one of the images here. It has one of the items from the kit here, and I framed it. And I'm wondering if you can see the little Eiffel Tower hiding down there. he's poking through a little bit, but he's hiding. Oh, I thought that went with that Paris, and I had that little snippet of paper, and I said, oh, let me use it here. Here is a crazy fold out that I did. I have this other paper pad that has all of these, like a postcard look to them. Now here, this flips up. You've got a little bit behind it from her kit. These two actually are from her kit. But the little postcards, I wasn't sure what to do, so I just left them as a whole image. Here, this is a couple of her little squares, and this is one of her images too. I just made a little belly band and put it there to be fun. This is rub on. Here is where it actually flips out. Let me scoot my book over. Yeah, here's where it actually flips out, and you can see more of the image. Actually, let me scoot it up. And this piece here was the only one. I've already taken this image over here, but this one extended and made the doorway. And then you can see I still have some more rub on over here. That tucks back there. This here is a pocket from one of the pieces in the kit. And this is actually two of the large squares, and I made a pocket out of it. So this goes back in here, and it's kind of snug, but then it goes right back in there. Then this folds this way. Let me scooch it this way. I love this image of these chocolatiers, and I just couldn't cut it, so I left it together, and I did a little rub on. One cannot think well, love well, sleep well if one has not dined well. And I didn't do too much to this image here. This was the other side to it. Is that how? Oh, I put another side to it to extend out this way so I could sew it in the signature. Because I forgot to show you the little butterfly in the other signature, but I have two little butterfly dangles. Here is a pocket with a lady in it. And this has yum, love at first bite and yum. They were a rub one that I had, and I've been trying to use them up. Now, I made a pocket here, and this is just, it could be written on in the inside. It's some kind of a courthouse document, but it was handy, and I put it in my little tuck here. And this had A. Jacoby. Oh, that was the top part of this page. That's what it was. This was a large 12 by 12, and I had to cut it down to be like 8, 8.5 to go in this book. So this was the top part of that. So I wanted to make sure I got that in there too, because that talks about the chocolates. So I think I folded it like this. Here's the other side that has the large lace pocket. I have had this lace forever, so it is definitely vintage. Here is another card, specimens of handwriting, and it's got the little glitter foil back to it. That was a couple more of the images from her kit. Some more journaling spot. Another image. Here it's a piece like this on the other side of this same page, but on this side, I only had one image left, which was this one. So I'll go to print it. I printed it upside down. Knowing me. Okay, so I decided to reprint it and make it a pocket. And I put tea bag ripped around the outside of it. And then I have this that I put on like a two-sided paper. And it's just tucked in here for a journal card. But everything that is a mistake, it's a tight fit too, so you gotta kind of give it the wiggle. There, okay. And then here's another. Is that the Arch de Triomphe? I think that's what that is. That's in the kit here quite a bit too. Now here's the other. Nope, another page. Sorry. This one's got a pretty bike on it, and I couldn't resist putting that down here. And I did a little stamping and rub-ons. Here is, this was from another kit. These colorful images are from like another kit, but they look Paris to me. So here was one of her images here, and these were from snippets. Another one of the index cards. Here is another journaling spot. Grab it. Here I wanted to do carousels. I have a carousel horse stamp, and then I had some papers. And it says kaleidoscope, I'm sure, but I kept thinking it was carousel. So I made a little cutout. And then you can see the horse inside. You could probably write in here if you wanted to, in between the little spaces. I believe it could probably be written on the back too, and on the back here. And I tried to make it like they call that a tunnel, I believe, a tunnel image. So that's what I was going for there. Here was a tag that I made a while back, and this is where I stole some of that image from that big fold out. The lamps, I took them, because this is my honeymoon in Paris. This is another piece of Tim Holtz 8x8, or I think it was an 8x8, yeah. So I took these pieces from different kits and stuff of his. I took the people. I did, I don't know if you can see it, I did, it's like a crackle paste, and to give it an aged look, and I rubbed in it with the distress crayon. Here was her little square that I cut the one edge off. Here's the chocolate. So I could make this into a tuck. And then here is just, it's not serving any purpose, but pretty. It's a snippet, it's not a snippet roll, it's just a bunch of pieces of lace, and I sewed this piece of paper down with the lace on top, and then I put 3 of those images from her kit on here. So it's just to be pretty. Okay, and then here is the other side of some 8x8 I had, but it's got Paris, and it's got these gentlemen all dressed up and dandified. And then more journaling. Here is another one of my videos I did recently. It is an envelope sleeve that slides. It slides, let me take these out. It slides in and out. This one's a tight one though. And see, I got a piece on the other side too. But you can take that off if you had like a bunch of papers in your journal that's all flat-sided. I don't think it would work on these, so that's why I didn't cut the edges or rip the edges. But this one here, I did the stamp with where you could write on it somewhere. And here was an envelope from the kit, and I stuck that in here on this side, and then the other side has a tuck as well. And I did stenciling on here, if you can see it, the diamond design, and I did stenciling on the actual sleeve itself, which you can see in the video. And then here was a pretty street image with one of those lampposts I like, and another one of the sewn pages. And here's the end. I've got the tea bag sticking out of this end. Now here is a writing board, and it's I didn't have any Chantilly lace, so this is as close as I can get. But Chantilly lace was made in France. I've got the heat embossed the glaze, the Tim Holtz embossing glaze on here, and then I've just got a blue on the back side of it. But you can put this under your pages to write when it's a little bumpy, or it's not very comfortable to write over several layers. And then the back is just, I think I showed you that, it's just the doily extending and the pretty lace on the edge. But there she is. I have that one tuck to fill, and it is done. Thank you very much for coming to visit, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate any comments, and just to say hi and let me know where you are in the world. Thank you very much.